The Second World War, a global conflict of unprecedented scale and ferocity. From 1939 to 1945, the world descended into chaos. Nations clashed on land, at sea, and in the air. It was a war that touched every corner of the globe. Millions were drawn into the maelstrom, their lives forever altered. This was a total war. Entire populations were mobilized, civilians became targets. The line between soldier and civilian blurred. The war's impact was profound and far-reaching. It reshaped the geopolitical landscape. It led to the rise of superpowers. It ushered in the atomic age. But most importantly, it left an indelible scar on humanity. Millions perished. Families were torn apart. Cities were reduced to rubble. The war's legacy continues to shape our world today. It serves as a stark reminder of the human capacity for both destruction and resilience. This essay delves into the deadliest battles faced by the major participating nations. We will explore the human cost of this conflict. We will examine the battles that defined the war for each country, and we will reflect on the lasting impact of these battles on the world stage. These stories are not just statistics. They are personal tragedies multiplied on an unimaginable scale. Each number represents a life lost, a family shattered, a future unwritten. It is our duty to remember these sacrifices and strive for a future free from the scourge of war. The Eastern Front was the crucible of World War II. Here, the full might of the Wehrmacht clashed with the unyielding resolve of the Red Army. No battle epitomizes the sheer brutality of this front more than the Battle of Stalingrad. From August 1942 to February 1943, this city on the Volga River became a symbol of resistance and a graveyard for millions. The German Sixth Army, under General Friedrich Paulus, expected a swift victory. Instead, they were drawn into a street-by-street, house-by-house struggle. Soviet soldiers and civilians fought with unparalleled tenacity, defending every inch of their city. The battle descended into a brutal hand-to-hand struggle. Buildings became fortresses, rubble-strewn streets the battleground. The casualties were staggering. Over 2 million soldiers and civilians perished in the fighting. The Red Army suffered the brunt of the losses, but the German Sixth Army was utterly destroyed. Stalingrad marked a turning point in the war. It shattered the myth of German invincibility. It sapped German manpower and resources. The victory at Stalingrad came at a terrible cost. The city lay in ruins. The psychological scars on the survivors ran deep, but from the ashes of destruction, a sense of national pride emerged. Stalingrad became a symbol of Soviet resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even the most unimaginable horrors. This victory laid the foundation for the Red Army's eventual march to Berlin. The Pacific War was a different kind of conflict. It was a brutal struggle for islands, atolls, and stretches of ocean. The Battle of Okinawa, fought from April to June 1945, epitomized the ferocity of this theater. It was the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific War. It was also a grim foreshadowing of the human cost of a potential invasion of mainland Japan. The Japanese defenders, under General Mitsuru Ushijima, knew this was their last stand. They were determined to fight to the death. They had prepared elaborate defenses. They utilized kamikaze attacks with terrifying effectiveness. The fighting was close and brutal, with heavy casualties on both sides. The Battle of Okinawa claimed the lives of over 200,000 people. Japanese losses were particularly heavy. Civilians were caught in the crossfire. The battle's psychological toll was immense. It pushed both sides to the brink. The ferocity of the fighting, the kamikaze attacks, and the civilian casualties horrified the American public and leadership. Okinawa demonstrated the fanatical resistance Japan was prepared to offer. It reinforced the belief among American strategists that an invasion of mainland Japan would be a bloodbath. This, in part, contributed to the decision to use atomic bombs against Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The battle remains a controversial chapter in the Pacific War, a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. June 6, 1944, D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in history. Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, opening a second front against Nazi Germany. The Battle of Normandy, codenamed Operation Overlord, marked a turning point in the war. It was the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, but it came at a terrible price. German forces, under Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, had fortified the coastline. They were prepared for the Allied assault. The fighting was fierce. The beaches were littered with the bodies of fallen soldiers. Casualties were heavy on both sides, particularly among the Allied forces landing on Omaha Beach. The Battle of Normandy raged for 80 days. Over 425,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or went missing. The toll on the civilian population of Normandy was also significant. Villages were destroyed and countless lives were disrupted. The liberation of France came at a high price. Despite the heavy losses, the Allied victory in Normandy had a profound impact. It secured a foothold in Western Europe. It paved the way for the liberation of France and the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. The sacrifices made on those beaches would never be forgotten. They served as a constant reminder of the cost of freedom